Hello everyone, just figured I'd show you guys a new project I just picked up. John Deere Unstyled A, 1937. Picked up for $3,000 off Facebook Marketplace. Got the real nice spoke wheels in the front. They're actually not bad looking. They aren't broken or nothing. Decent bolster. Steering's actually pretty tight in this thing. Someone put a new muffler on it. This thing's unrestored for the most part. It looks like someone maybe 20-30 years ago might have painted the hood a little bit, but besides that, this thing's untouched. Yeah, got the spoked front end. Yeah, this one's got the spoked rear end. But yeah, this thing here is something I've been wanting for a while, so I figured I'd just go and jump at it. So I'm going to see if I can get it to start once, maybe do a little starting procedure here, a cold start. I had it running last week. It's 34 degrees right now. We're going to see what happens. On this here, this is your throttle on this John Deere A. Just give it a little bit. And then you got your compression release for both cylinders. It's the one. Here is your other one. These engines have such high compression that when you try starting them, you're not going to move it without them. Let's put it that way. Here's your fuel. Right now, I'm going to put it on choke, full choke it. What I've been doing, I full choke it and I'll crank it a little bit. And once it fires, yeah, if I can catch it in time, I'll just put it straight off choke. And if not, it'll shut down and I'll try starting it again, but I'll be running it off choke again. Or I'll be trying to start it with no choke. So we're going to see what happens once. Again, this one here, you got to crank the flywheel. I don't believe electric start was optional with these unstyled A's. I don't believe that came around to like 1940. No, I'm wrong. 1939, I believe, when electric start became an option, or a factory option. But yeah, let's see if I can fire it. Do I have enough muscle in one hand? There we go. Oops. And there went my cap. Forgot to pull it off. But now it's off choke. Yeah, I figure that's neutral. Running myself over, knowing my luck. Cold. Right now it's running with no choke. See? Compression release. Okay. Normally in about 2-3 cranks I can fire it up when it's warm out. But this is a cold start. I haven't had it running since last week. Again, it's about 33, 34 degrees out. I've wanted one of these unstyled A's for some time. I just think they're neat, and I go to a couple tractor shows where I help pull some hay wagons around, especially in the fall. I figure this one here would be a good one to do it with. I did it with my 40 this year down there. Big green. But yeah, these are pretty cool little tractors. On these here, they're actually a 2-speed with a high and low transmission and a reverse. You got your reverse, then down below your first, and up top there's second. Then you got this lever up here. And let me go around to the other side, I'll show you. This lever right here is has a low right there. High on the other end, right there. Sorry, not focusing correctly. There we go. High and low. This here is for your PTO in the back. So that's pretty much what all that does. But yeah, it's very, very simple. Very neat little thing. Unique. let me idle it once. There's idle. It's funny, like I said, years ago, I would never been able to touch one of these for $3 grand. But what's happening is a lot of the older guys that worked with these in the field years ago, a lot of the guys that worked with them are passing away. And a lot of the newer generation aren't quite as connected with these older tractors because it's not what they grew up with. So now the 60 series, or excuse me, the number series, like the 40 through 80, 80 series John Deeres, they seem to be going up in value now, or even the newer ones, probably more like a 1010, 1020, all of them are bringing more now. So these old ones are starting to get down in value a little bit. It's funny, years ago, and just a straight L, like the one I have sitting there, that's an LI, but a straight L, let's say. They're like $2,500 here about 10 years ago. Now I can pick one of them up, I give $1 grand for that one. I got lucky, it's $1 grand. The guy thought it was a straight L, and I didn't find out till I got home it was an LI. But yeah, $1 grand. A tractor like this probably would have been upwards of, in the shape it's in, 4, maybe a little bit more, 4,500. So yeah, they weren't cheap. And for some reason, John Deere always hold their value. That's one thing they do. Here's what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna go grab my cushion out of my messy shop. I'll get a video sometime on these guys. It's a 701 and a 702 wheel horse with hydraulics. I get a chance here sometime to do a video on them. Sorry, my shed's a bit of a mess. Yeah, I got a pile of old Briggs motors and stuff back there I keep for parts or just projects in general. We've got one in the shed we're working on right now. I have to get a video on as well. It's a Mighty Mite garden tractor, 1948. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably get one on here on it. Well, I know I will. It's just I want to complete it a little bit more first. Me and my dad are going together and it's just restoration, father and son restoration. Yes. I don't care what anyone says. These old John Deeres are easy to start for a hand crank. I had a John Deere A here a few years ago, and that thing fought me every step of the way. But these A's, or my old B I had a Cyclone B here a couple of years ago. That thing never even fired up. It was electric start, but it still fired up easy. Well, here, let me pull this back. Your clutch. Normally with these engines, if it's not in gear and it's just idling, you normally want this spinning because it slings the oil a little bit better in the motor for better lubrication. Or that's what I'm told, so I've been trying to just sort of stick with that. Now, here's what's neat on these too. Say you're in high range, like here I'm in high. Well, I want to put it in reverse. See, I'm not touching it. You put it in reverse, this transmission automatically puts the high and low in the low range. So it lowers your reverse gear automatically for safety reasons. Which is kind of neat. Or in my book it is anyway. Let's put it in second. Let's try high range. Now, can I do this? You know what? Yeah, let's try it. Oop, I get the brake off once. Might help if I do that. Ain't going anywhere with the brakes on. There we go. We didn't run over nothing. My other projects. I'm still working on that shed. It's probably going to be spring now till I get a chance to get it up. Between the weather and everything, it's just been lousy. Alright, let's give her some juice. Throttle. around the field with it. This dang engine don't smoke at all, so it makes me wonder if this thing wasn't run real hard during its life, or what's up with it. It's either that, or maybe it had an engine rebuild at some point. Anything's possible. It's 1937, so it's towards the end of production for the unstyled, but it's pretty old. You do the math. I'm not a math whiz. It's a year newer than my F20. And speaking of which, this actually would have went in competition with the F20, because they're both about the same horsepower and around the same age. Both about 24 horse. They're both 2-plow tractors. Now this thing here in high gear does about 6.5 miles an hour, which is really, really good for a tractor of this vintage, considering my F20 only did around 4.5. So yeah, that is really good. I'm gonna put it to a slightly lower gear here once. Brake. Try this again. Give her some juice, some throttle. That's full throttle. Now that's first gear now. I could go a little faster than that, but it's cold out. My hands are freezing. Back in here to the shed again. Oh, I do some work with it here a little later. I got a logger cell I want to yank around. Nothing real big, it's going to be real strenuous on it, but this thing just makes it easier me trying to play around, trying to fire the other ones up. I guess you could call it me just playing. Brake, got brake on each side. This back brake on this side ain't working right now. I gotta pull it out and see if I can reband it. Or I was looking on Steiner, they actually sell the whole brake setup. Just replace everything internally here. So that's on my to-do list. So I'm gonna throw the emergency brake back on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video of our little cruise. I know I did. It's a shame now a little warmer. And this one here would have been an all fuel. Excuse me, an all fuel. Someone pulled the shutters off the front of it at some point though. But it's not a big deal for what I'm going to use it for. I love this old stuff. There's just something about it. Gotta love these old things. This thing runs like a top. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, later.